Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, special number 14, I believe. Could be wrong with that, but I'll check my notes nonetheless. Let's take a look. But we are back with another special. I should always check this before doing this, but sometimes I forget, you know. But let's take a look real quick. I think we're on 14. Maybe it's 15. It is 15, yeah. Okay, special number 15. Welcome to special number 15, Jakara, the Ghost Warrior. This is probably one of the best specials I've ever read. Really, it is one of the best. I'm not going to say where it ranks on my list, but it will be up there amongst others. This, to me, is a very good book. So, like always, in-depth story analysis and then my overall thoughts on this epic adventure. So make sure you've read the book before watching this review, because you're into something good if you are a fan of Beast Quest. But yeah, let's begin. If I'm talking a bit quieter than usual, it's because it's night time at my time. Actually, no, it's morning actually. Early in the morning. Okay. But nonetheless, let's get to this review. Okay then. Daltek was in panic. He was wondering where Adaro was. He couldn't bear it anymore and summoned Tom and Eleanor, who were chilling until Daltek disturbed them via magic vision. He explained they were needed and not to tell anyone, so after avoiding Harkman, who had a cold, they reached Adaro's room. While Daltek explained Adaro had been gone for 2 days, and from what he gathered, Daltek knows he's not in Avantia. Everyone was puzzled. Where was Adaro? When Daltek had a theory, as it showed them this book that contained Avantian history, including Taladon. One day, Tom would be in this book, but some pages were gone, torn out, about a mistress of the beasts. These pages were torn out, and on these pages were about a mistress of the beast called Cara. Daltek explained that Cara's last quest was her trying to stop a ghost beast called Jalka. Only when she entered the cursed island, she was never seen again. Basically, when she tried to stop Jalka, Adaro had been waiting for this day, as it was the anniversary of his former master's death. He did this to honor his memory. He had planned to find out what happened to Cara, only it was dangerous. Our heroes had to help Adaro before he got hurt, because he went to this island, and who knows what's on Crykos is going to be this dangerous place. We also learn the golden armor can alter its shape to fit the user, which makes sense in case you get like a female person as the mistress of the beast. Our heroes were teleported to the beach, where they bumped into Uncle Leo, who they asked for a ride to Crykos. So he did, while also explaining that Adaro had also requested a boat ride, and he just got back from dropping him off. Anyways, they boarded and headed off, thinking more of Jalka. Then it seemed hard to get the boat to the island of Crykos, as the winds kept changing. Was it just the weather, or the evil ghostly spirit of Jalka? Anyway, not wanting to waste time, Tom called the power of Sepron the Sea Serpent to help them out. So our heroes, apart from Leo, aboarded Sepron and were escorted to Crykos. They soon arrived and began their searching, saying goodbye to Sepron. After some tracking, they discovered some scraps of Adaro's robes. Thank you, air freshener. They discovered some of Adaro's robes, which were scraps behind, which meant he had been running away from something. So was it Jalka, perhaps? Anyway, Tom also had an odd feeling of this place, and at times the golden armor didn't work when he tried to keep up with Silver. But what they found was Adaro at the bottom of a ravine. Tom used his magic eagle feather to leap down the ravine safely, and yes, Adaro was alive, just a broken ankle, which Tom healed via green jewel. Tom and Adaro made up, but Tom said they couldn't leave without the pages from the book, which he had lost. So Tom helped Adaro search for the pages. However, Tom also wondered why the others hadn't caught up. By now, by now. Anyway, though, Adro found the pages in his other pocket, leading to our heroes caught by natives. Now we know what happened to our allies. Tom and his allies, apart from Silver, were all rallied up. The tribe spoke of their master, the armoured queen, and Adro came to the conclusion these people were the remainder of the people of Krykos, but no matter what our heroes offered or said, they became prisoners of the tribe. The tribe tied them up, awaiting their queen, while Tom felt weaker and scared against these people. The allies felt confused until we saw Cara's axe. Then later we saw the armoured queen herself. And to no reader's surprise, it looked like Cara, however only half, while the other appeared as a ghostly body. Tom came to the conclusion that Jalka had won the fight, and now Cara had suffered a fate worse than death, so Jalka could gain a body of its own. And by the way, I'm going to refer to Jalka as an it, because we don't know its gender. So that's it there. So a body of its own, which also proved my theory. The reason why Tom's powers weren't working was because they showed allegiance to the now fused version of both Jalka and Cara, Jakara. Jakara was about to kill our heroes when Tom just managed to escape and push Jakara back until her men got involved, pinning Tom down. Then Silver came to the rescue, freeing Tom's friends, giving Tom a chance to have a rematch with Jakara. So Tom and Jakara got into another duel, and as the fight progressed, Tom seemed to be getting his golden armor powers back, basically, as he began to fight. Then Jakara punched Tom with her ghost arm, and we saw her ghostly powers, which seemed to drain his soul from her victim and their strength to her own, which is what happened to Cara. So if that's the case, then that tells me that Jalka is in control. Just she uses Cara as a boost, shall we say, to increase her power. And it seems from we are seeing every time she drains an enemy long enough, it can add the body parts of its opponents to increase its own power. Some kind of draining method, you could say. Anyway, this forced our heroes to flee. With the aid of the wizard's magic, they made a run for it, with Jakara in pursuit. Tom wanted to quit, but knew that his doubts were talking. This was his doubts talking. It seemed as if the powers of the golden armor were going back and forth between Tom and Jakara, and there were two beings wearing it in the same location. Anyway, Tom tried to peer into Jakara's mind via red jewel and saw a memory of Jalka and Cara fighting. It was revealed that Cara forced herself to fuse with Jalka in order to attempt to stop Jalka from harming anyone else. Tom felt more determined to save Cara after this, but then it seemed Jakara was approaching. Anyway, with this new knowledge, I take back my first theory, and it does seem that Jakara is her own character, with Cara trying to keep Jalka at bay, but from what we've seen so far, she hasn't been doing a good job of it, as Jakara nearly killed Tom and his friends. Maybe it was Cara trying to get Tom fused with her, so together he could help suppress Jalka, so they could push them back together. Basically, so like you have two of the Masters of the Beasts pushing her back down. That's why I think Cara made Jalka's arm grab him, so like she could help. Like, I'm gonna grab Tom, he can fuse with us, so together two of us can mentally stop Jalka from, causing havoc on the people. That was a theory there. Let's see. Everyone was about to run when Tom turned around and was determined to stay and fight, as he was supposed to, being the master of the beasts. This gave his friends the confidence to stand by his side. It's funny though, because they say they were going to help you out, but realistically it comes down to Tom and Jakara get into a scuffle, which leads to Jakara loses her axe. Tom gets it, while our heroes just cheer him on. Nothing wrong with that, just like expecting more from them when they say, we're going to stay with you and help fight. And realistically, they just sit there and just chant on. Anyway, before Tom could make a move, the tribe showed up, telling him to back off. I will say, however, that in this chapter we get info that makes a show more sides to Jakara. She seems to have Cara's honor in battle and demands Tom fight her, which leads to explaining she wants to absorb his strength so she can become stronger. My new theory is after Cara tried to save herself, Jalka was tempted by this offer of power and tried to obtain it, believing it would increase her own, so its own power. So again, I'm still sticking with my Cara theory, like, oh, Cara tried to get Tom to help mentally block Jalka out, like Kara's doing already. Then Jalka had this idea in its mind and said, maybe I could use this idea and get stronger from it. You know, basically, how do I put this? Cara wants to get Tom in this is just a theory, because, like, we don't know how exactly their mental bond of Cara and Jalka is working, whether it's both a fusion, like they're one new being, whether it's Jalka in control or it's Cara in control, because it seems to flip-flop from time to time, which would make sense with a mental disorder kind of thing. So we have like 2 or 3 personalities clashing with one another. You have Jalka's evil desire for power, Jakara, who's like honourable and evil, and then you have Cara herself trying to protect the kingdom at all costs by making sacrifices, which we'll get to later on down the road. So she's trying to that's why I think she was trying to get Tom to fuse her together so they could help stop him mentally. But yeah, now we have Jalka's motivations, because this triggers a motivation for Jalka, and it wants to, and I'm saying it for Jalka because we don't know its gender, it wants to take Tom so it can become stronger as a more powerful warrior and suppress Cara back in its mind, because it thinks Cara is starting to become more independent and stuff. Like it thinks Cara is starting to grow in strength. So it thinks getting Tom will help suppress Cara back. Anyway, though, that's that knowledge there. Tom seemed doomed when Daltic magicked up a shield to stop the tribe from interfering in the battle, allowing our hero, Tom, to get the duel he was waiting for. However, in the fight, Jakara got her axe back, and we saw just how much skill Cara had with her axe, as she was not only able to swing it, but spin it around like a buzzsaw, which I didn't see coming. Tom figured out a method to stop her by tricking her to hit the force field. Tom saw an opening and sliced off Jakara's armor. So that's pretty awesome there, that he managed to trick her that way. That's pretty cool. Tom had freed Cara from the bonds of Jalka. Now together, 2 warriors of the beasts fought this evil stealer of souls in an epic throwdown. Trapped and nowhere to run, Jalka turned her hatred to Tom for ruining its bond with Cara, but without a second thought, Jalka didn't see coming. Cara sliced Jalka in half, making the beast fade to nothing. Now, before you guys question how could Cara hit a ghost, you could say this. Jalka was trying to absorb Tom's body, which started to make parts of Jalka more solid, which gave Cara that opening she wanted. Anyway, Jalka was dead, and it was revealed the tribe had been under Jalka's control. However, there was a sad loss. As it was revealed, Cara was badly injured. Tom attempted to save her, but Cara revealed it didn't matter. She wanted to go out this way, as she had this wound for 60 years in her battle with Jalka, which further explains why she fused with Cara, not only to keep Jalka withheld, withheld the beast back, but to keep her alive, to battle Jalka mentally. So like she wanted to keep Jalka prisoner, but she also needed her, with Jalka being alive, it kept her alive so she could fight mentally. So she's been fighting mentally inside with that injury physically. So that's kind of something. In a way, you could see Tom feeling a bit guilty for breaking that armor off now. But nonetheless, Cara managed to finish the battle with Jalka, and she and Tom respected one another, and as she did Adaro. She passed, and was magicked to the Gallery of Tombs, where she would rest in peace. A few days later, when our heroes were home, Hugo sent resources to help rebuild Krykos. Now the villagers were free. Okay, that was something else. But you can see why Jakara is one of the best specials for me. It is so derivative with its story. It gets a bit like at the first half is all a big mystery, and the second, when the reveal is like, even when you think you know it, the chapters keep turning it around with all these different personalities coming into play. And you could say that is they keep making continuity errors, but realistically it would make sense with a character like Jakara, who's got this mental disorder, where she's not, the beast isn't really itself, it's fighting with with Jalka's personality, it's fighting with Cara's personality, and it's fighting with its new fused personality of Jakara. So it's got three personalities to fight off one another to take the driver's seat when you think about it. But yeah, the story, it goes at a good pace. The eerie build-up of Krykos, the quest to find Adaro. You think he's hurt at first, they find out he's not. Then there's this eerie feeling of what happened to the people, Tom's allies, they're captured by the tribe. And then we get the build-up of Jakara, and like, what happened to her? Oh my god, how did she become this way? To be fair, I kind of saw Cara being the evil beast, because like it says on the back about what happened to Cara, and when you look at the beast's name, it's kind of obvious to figure out, because it did a similar thing with Koraka back in Series 9, with the whole name thing there. But also, it's a much better version, obviously. And of course, we get to see how impressive this beast is, like, its personality sort of gives it so much play in there, forcing our heroes to retreat. And Tom, we get to character development for Tom about how to be a better master of the beasts, how to fend off and stuff, which leads into this fight between Jakara and Tom manages to outsmart the beast and save the mistress of the beasts, and together we get to see two masters of the beast, warriors of the beast, fight the beast, and it ends in such a climactic, emotional battle. And then you had the fun. I was happy with so much of this stuff that, you know, Cara manages to finish off Jalka in the way, like split in half, like the whole thing that goes as symbolic with what was in the book, how symbolism slice and the half, and yeah, that worked out pretty damn well. And of course, Cara's sacrifice. I didn't want Cara to die, but I kind of had a feeling I knew she would probably die. I feel like after she was free from the fusion, she would have died of old age due to being alive for 60 years, but apparently it gets more depressing than that. She had that wound in her side for whatever many years, and that she has been holding it off just to protect the kingdom. That's the sad thing about this for me, is the fact that this character is what a Master of the Beasts should be like. And we see all types of Masters of the Beast, from Tanner, Taladon, and Tom, but never one, to me, that ever... I mean, we see our heroes go off in stakes of trying to rescue the kingdom and save it in any means necessary, but never to the length of this, where they decided to sacrifice their own life to fuse with a beast. I mean, like, most of them are willing to sacrifice their life to stop a beast, but for Cara, she was willing to sacrifice her life to fuse with one to stop him, or it, mentally. And that just adds a whole other meaning of the title. And it really makes you feel sorry for the character when she passes too. And I haven't even gone over to the character section yet, but you can see this is a damn good book on its own right. So yeah, I was really sad when Cara passed, but I knew she was going to. I just didn't want it to, but she did, and it was such an emotional death. It was, words can't explain how sad it was. Anyway, though, we're going to get onto the character section now, and I'm going to wrap up this review. So starting off with Tom, this is obviously another Tom-focused central book. Tom learns something special about this. He learns more about the title of Master of the Beasts for me. I think he learns another level of it. Cara in a way manages to be a mentor to Tom while fighting him at the same time, as he learns to understand what lengths a warrior of the beasts is willing to go to protect the kingdom and the ones they love. And it saddens me that these two, even though they had so little time together, they became such good friends, both in combat and in respect, that they respected each other by saying each other's name as Tom, Master of the Beasts, and Cara, Master of the Beasts. That's a good relationship there, that it is sad. And the fact that Jakara managed to Jakara kept Cara's age to be at her prime, which makes sense, is sad because you get to see this person at a young age die, and that's another way of being sad, because it's in life you don't want to die when you look good, but she's been alive for longer than you expect, but seeing her die at that younger age is another way of sadness. But yeah, Tom, he gets much development. He gets a bit eerie at first with like what's happening, what's going on. He has doubts about himself, which makes sense due to the loss of the golden armor powers. It kind of has that Series 2 vibe of trying to get the golden armor back. He gets it back, kinda, and air freshener goes off, and he manages to find a way to defeat the beast creatively to free Cara, and Cara repays the favour on him while also finishing off the beast that's been haunting her for these many years. So that was just an engaging fight on its own right, and they gave Tom a good character arc this book. Eleanor, she doesn't get much to do, but what she does get to shine, she is very happily. She supports Silver, she manages to give advice from Tom. Now she's the first one to come back to help Tom out, like, I'm going to stay with you and help fight. I mean, there are the other two wizards, but I'm not going to cover those, because even though they were in the book, they didn't do much enough to really gather the attention, but I feel bad if I don't mention Eleanor at all, so Eleanor does get her moments to shine, but obviously this is a Tom book, and it proves that very well. Moving on to the henchman of this book, which is the tribe leader. I'm not going to say much about him, but he does help summon Jakara and provide some hints of what's going on, but I would feel, so he's an okay henchman. He doesn't get much to do, but when he shows up you get annoyed and confused at the same time, so I'll just give him a little brief mention there so we have a bit more characters to play off here. Moving on to the Beast, and the Beast I'm going to cover in 3 different sections, obviously, because you have, again, like I said prior, 3 personalities: Jakara, Cara, and Jakara. So starting off with Jakara, again, we don't know this beast's gender at all, but its only motive is just to grow in power. It doesn't stop. It's a ghost. It can't be harmed physically. The only way it can be harmed is by its own fusions, from what we see. And it's just a mindless killer. Most beasts have like motive for doing certain things, like Skolo last book, where it's trying to protect its young. Some beasts want to be alone. Some beasts, just to quote the Dark Knight, some beasts like Herba just want to watch the world burn. But Jakara just wants unlimited power, and she's willing to go for those things to do it. The only problem is the more power she gains, the more weaknesses are revealed in its character. So that's Jakara. But it's very interesting, the creature is that you get this ghostly beast who's an intimidating foe. So Jakara gave both our heroes a run for their money. So yeah, moving on to Cara, probably the most emotional character of the whole book. She's been fighting Jakara for 60 years, and she's been willing to basically, how do I put this? She's been putting of Jalka for a long time, so it got to a point where she got hurt. She decided to sacrifice her own life and fuse with this creature just because she still believed she could hold this creature back and prevent it from leaving this island so it couldn't harm anyone else. She was willing to fight mentally and physically just to stop this creature from increasing its own power. Now, while she didn't manage to stop it from getting the people under its influence, but she did plan to stop it from doing any more. While she didn't succeed fully at that, she tried so hard for so many years that you can't dislike the character. And when Tom saved her, it was so happy to see her get her revenge and get her payback on Jalka, to stop this beast, fight it off, and get the revenge and justice that she deserved, slicing it half, symbolizing everything. And it was, like I said, very sad to see her pass. Like, she dies at such a young age. She could have been saved, but she chose not to be saved, and that's even sadder because, like, Tom has the potential to save her. He could easily save her, but he respected her wishes and he let her die. But I could tell Tom probably felt guilty for breaking that armor off, but he respected her wishes too much and he let her pass so she could rest in peace. And it's just a sad thing there. Jakara itself, or herself, the fused beast itself, is basically a fusion of the two. She's evil, she's got honor, she wants Tom to fight and don't leave the battle, and she'll go on to the bitter end. So it seems that not only when Jalka gains the abilities of the character, they also gain the personality traits of said character. So that's something to keep in notice. So Jakara does prove to be a great fighter in that regard, and the whole spinning axe is pretty badass too. So I'm gonna say that's gonna be a wrap up for this one, as this video is nearly half an hour long. But overall, this is one of the best specials I've ever read in Beast Quest. It really is. I'm not going to say where it ranks, but you will see when that time comes out. I may be doing a collab with Adam on that, but we'll see how that goes. But this is my review of Jakara, the Ghost Warrior. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe, that good stuff, hit the notification bell right in the corner down below so you can stay in tune with all the LEGO, DC, Super and custom builds and first part of the content on my channel. Join us next time as I continue on the specials with Jakara, the Ice Spear. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name right. But that'll be it from me. The upcoming Q&A is coming out tomorrow for me on my timeline, so stay tuned for that. But that'll be it from me, guys. I'll see you guys with more videos coming your way. Till next time, like always, peace.